Hello. So in this video, we are going to see how Interaction Studio works. By no means it is an extensive video that shows Interaction Studio's capabilities. It is just a quick start, a hello kind of uh, session for Interaction Studio. We're going to take a general e-commerce site like Forever 21 and capture all the product views. For example, if a customer, a potential buyer, navigates to 421 website and views a product or a category, then that information will be captured and sent back to Interaction Studio in Marketing Cloud, and you can further use that data to effectively target the customers. Step is to create a data set, and to create a data set, first navigate to Interaction Studio in your Marketing Cloud instance. Once in your dashboard, click on New Dataset, create an ID, and click on OK. So give it probably a minute's time. It'll create a dataset and it'll confirm what our dataset created. Let's open this. So the few things that we need to look into this dataset are the report section and then the recent visitors and event stream section. If you notice this event stream section, it's currently empty, which basically means that no events are coming in. Now, the type of integration that we're going to do is a web-based integration. So to do that, we navigate to web, and then first we go to web configuration. And what we're going to do is we are going to whitelist the domain, Forever 21 domain. So the domain that we know for Forever 21 here is forever21.ca. Now what you do is click on add new domain, forever21.ca, save it. Click on save. So once the save is complete, the red arrow would disappear. Yes. After we have our data set ready, the next thing that we are going to do is create sitemap. So to create a sitemap, you need some sort of development environment. You can create sitemap in your Visual Studio Code Editor or Notepad++, but then again, to debug them, you need a development environment. Now, what Interaction Studio has provided is an Evergage launcher. They call it Evergage launcher. So this is a Chrome add-on, and you can get it by just googling it for Evergage launcher. So you get this Chrome add-on. Go ahead and install this. So once the Chrome add-on is installed, what you need to do is navigate to the website and click on the add-on. Wait for it to load. Now the important things that you'll have to look for here is the account name, dataset name, and things like Visual Editor and inject URL. And you have a force SDK URL option. So I'll explain these in detail in later in this section. So first, the account and dataset names. So we know the dataset name here, which is Forever 21, but how do I get the account name? So to get both the account name or dataset name, the easiest way is navigate to web and JavaScript integration. And the one that you see here in the source URL, that's your account name, and the one after it is your dataset name. So what to do now is that given that we have our account name and dataset name, we are going to copy this data into the add-on. And we're going to click on Visual Editor. Let's wait for it to load. So this is your Interaction Studio debugger or Evergage launcher. So what you need to do is first is to set up sitemap, navigate to click on sitemap, and yeah, so you have an empty sitemap that gets displayed now. So this is the window where you're going to write your sitemap code. Now to start writing a sitemap, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Google for Interaction Studio sitemap getting started. Yeah, get started with site mapping. So the same items that I showed you. Okay, this sitemap JavaScript code, this is the one that we're going to use. Let me copy this. See here, what it has is it initiates AverGauge and then the cookie domain. Now the cookie domain here is going to be forever21.ca. Now this cookie domain is the one that you have set up in allow domain. Now next is the idea that I'm going to that I have here is that whenever a customer clicks on, let's say, men and goes to any of this item, dresses, or any of a product, then that information has to be captured and stored and sent back to Interaction Studio. Now for that, this is the one. So in here, look at the structure. We have a catalog and a product. So when somebody clicks on men and then looks for a product, click on men tops and looks for a dress like this, and this page open event should be captured and sent back to Marketing Cloud or Interaction Studio. Now the first thing that I see here is all the products are opened. All the products have this URL forever21.ca/products. So I can use this as a match condition to say to tell the system that if the URL is /products, then capture the information and send it back to Interaction Studio. Now how am I going to write that? So we have this is match condition. Yeah, let me go to e-commerce sitemap example. So under the config, we need to set page types. The page types starts here. Now we're going to say we're going to declare our first page type. Name is product detail. Next is match condition. Is match. I'm going to say validate if the URL matches. So is match. Yeah, something like this. So here instead of a cart, we're going to go with products. So if this is a match, then what you need to do is I'm going to send out the product details. Catalog. Product. What is the product detail? So first let's go with ID, test ID, and then name, test product. Let's save this. So once I save this, you see here these details are populated. So this basically means that our sitemap has identified that this page or this page URL, which is /products, actually matches with product details, and it takes the ID and the product name details. Now this is good. So this is a good place to start. Now next thing is I need to get the actual name from here. So to do it, I'm going to go to inspect element, and the data is actually from header, product header. Way to get this value is using evergage DOM functions, like evergage.cache DOM. And this here, this is under h1, and this is a class. So I'll go with h1 class that matches this one. I'm not very good in cache DOM or DOM per se. So this returns one item. So let's go ahead and find out 0th element and get the inner text. Good. Now we got our product name, and what we can do is in the name we can set this product name, and let's save this. You've got the right product name. To validate this, let's go to a different section and open up a product and see if that product name gets pulled in. Wait, this has to be underscore ID. And one of the point that you have to note is when you open /collections, it did not actually match up with any of the page. It doesn't really match up with the page, so a event will not be sent. So you'll have to go to a particular product. Now lace up high top sneakers, so that's captured, which is good. Now the next thing is, we know that these information are captured, but how do we know if these information are sent back to Interaction Studio? Let's just go ahead and see if there are any event that came into our Interaction Studio. And yes, we have some events that came back to Interaction Studio. Events that include all these opens that we had. Nice. So you got these events here. How do I basically test this? Yes, I open up console, go to network, and clear out everything. Click on execute. So when I click on execute, this basically shows me this URL. So what I typically do is I take up evergage.com API/event and do a filter on this. So whenever this page makes an event call or sends out data to Interaction Studio, this event call will be present in your network tab, and with this you would know that this particular open event was sent to your Interaction Studio window. But then again, to exactly know what data was sent, what you can do is you can take up this content, scroll down, you copy the event data, don't forget to copy the equal to at the end, go to your console, clear this, and do a json.parse and then a to b, and then paste your content. Now you would exactly know what data was passed back to Interaction Studio from this web page. So the data that was passed is product details, the page type is product details, and this is the URL, and this is the anonymous user ID. So this anonymous user ID would stay same as long as I have the same cookie, and the item is view item. It's in view item action. Where do I have the product name? Yeah, under catalog, ID is test ID and name is Liz. Now I can go ahead and build on top of this and get some more information. Let's try to get the product price. Now the product price actually comes from, so there are two items, product price and discounted price. Let's do the same, evergage.cache DOM. It's one of an important functionality, and this is under span. So both of them are under span, discounted and product price. So span, and find class. Cool. So inner text, you got the price. The same way, try to find discounted. You got the discounted price as well. So, but then what is the you know structure here in which I need to pass this data. Let's find that out. So to find that out, navigate to your Interaction Studio documentation. So one of the important thing is I have not enabled products here, so I just have categories. Now you see here I'm trying to pass product details to Interaction Studio, but I do not have a product catalog enabled. So to enable product, what we do is we go to settings and the catalog and profile objects. Yeah, so this is where under catalog and profile object, enable product and save it. Now refresh the page. Under catalog you should be able to see products now. So under products, if you notice, since we used oh, sorry since we sent out this product, which is lace up high top sneakers, it got automatically added. Let's try to get the price information as well. So to get the price information, it's the same thing in sitemap, where you set this price id value. So for now I have used a test id value, but then to typically find out the unique id value which is not displayed in the UI, what I do is I go and search for any hidden elements in the web page, and I have found out these hidden elements in the product details web page, where if you notice, so here I have out an hidden element which is product. Now this has the product ID value that we need. So to get that, what we do is we look for evergauge dot cache top input. Yeah, input name is product and the value. So we get the product ID as well. So we take this, paste it here. Now save. Nice, we've got the product ID, name, and price. So that's good. Let's go to console. Okay, now let's find out if these events have come in. Okay, yes, these events have come in. Now if you notice, this product doesn't have an image, so let's try to add an image. So this looks good. So let's find out where the image is. So this is the image. Let's go to inspect element. Okay. To get this image URL, I probably would have to write a quick function. Let's see how we can go about it. Now the thing is, I need to get this image URL. One item that I found out here is the web page has a pretty good meta links, and this meta link had image URL as well. So here it has the amount, currency, and then the image URL. And what I want to do is I want to get the image URL from this. To do this, what I'm going to do is let's find out all the elements or document dot get elements by tag name, and let's go with meta tag. Now this is returning about 34 tags. Let's store this into an elements document dot get element by tag name meta. Now we got all these elements stored in this tag. Let's loop through these elements. Let I is equal to 0, I is less than elements dot length plus plus. let's quickly print if these elements are available for us. Elements of I. Okay, so you got all these elements. Now out of all these elements, I need to look for the element that has property as OG image. Clear this. In the same one, instead of console.log, what I'm going to do is I want to have an if condition that says if element of I has an attribute, so where the attribute is property, so if this property is equal to OG image, then let's print that value. Oh, sorry, I have an extra. Nice. We have 3 images. Now if you notice, all these 3 images are same, so I need only one of it. So after one image is found, let's put a break. Now that's good. Okay, we don't need the complete one, we just need the content. So let's try to get the content value of content. Okay, nice. We got the image URL. Let's open it. That's the image URL. Good. Now what we can do is we can just write this complete for loop inside a function and call it get image URL and paste this function. So instead of console.log, we'll use a return, and now this is going to return this function. Cool. So if I call this function get image URL, we get this function. That's nice. Now what we do then is we copy this function, go to our sitemap, and where do I place this function? So I'll have to place this function right outside here, right, as in right within the then function. But then before I go ahead and before I start or initiate the sitemap, so this is where I place my function. Don't worry about it. If the function placement is wrong, you'll get an error message. Let's format this a little bit. So nice. Okay, now where do we use this function? In here I'll have to pass additional value image, and then say get image URL, and let's save this. The function where this elements object is not declared, and to declare it, elmts is equal to document dot get element by tag name meta. So let's get this and semicolon, save this. Now the function is executed and it returned the product image. Good. Now let's go to Interaction Studio and see if the product image gets displayed or not. So for this, okay, so one item that I need to correct is this is not just image, this is image URL. Yeah, see here, image URL. So you'll have to be very careful with the keyword that you use. So it's image URL. Let's save this and click on execute. Done. Okay, so the product is this one, velvet cami mini dress. Yeah, you see here the product image is added. That's nice. Now if I do not want to see this, how do I go about it? Let's close the sitemap editor, and I do not want this. Let me close the visual editor as well. Now, would the events be tracked? No. So to again begin tracking the event, what we need to do is enable inject event, inject SDK. Once I enable inject SDK, I can go to network, clear everything, and search for API to event and refresh the page. See, this event should be sent back to Interaction Studio. Now, if you, let's say, disable the SDK in this inject SDK and refresh this page again, if you notice, none of the events are passed to Interaction Studio. Let's close this, open a new tab here for authentication.ce, open inspect element, no events are passed. Navigate to accessories, belts, no events are passed. I open a belt. Good. Now to start capturing these events, I enable inject SDK and go to sales, shoes. Okay, good. So we got the event. That's into Interaction Studio. Now, what do I do with this? How do I implement this finally in my production environment? To basically finally implement this in your production, all you have to do is go to not website configuration, JavaScript integration. Take this synchronous script and hand it over to your commerce site developer. So basically the site admin for your commerce site. Now if it is built by Shopify or different e-commerce application, connect with your commerce site developer and ask them to add this tag to the website, and you're good. So once they add this tag to the website, so adding this tag basically means that they'll go to the head, and the way they have script tags here, so they have script tags from multiple entities. Klaviyo is again another marketing cloud company. So it's another marketing company which is kind of similar to what Marketing Cloud does for email and SMS marketing. And yeah, so similarly, what the e-commerce site developer would do is they'll add the script like this. So I mean, adding it here now doesn't make any changes because this is client side changes. These are client side changes, but they'll have to make these changes in the server side, and done. So that's the only change that the e-commerce site has to do, and everything else, that's the advantage of Interaction Studio. Everything else is basically stored or configured in sitemap. And basically to view your sitemap, yes, navigate to site-wide JavaScript and you'll be able to see the sitemap. And if you want to make any changes, you can make changes and save it here. You can save them here. Now the next thing is you have added page type for only for products, and next thing is we can kind of add this for other applications, other pages like categories. So anything with slash collections, you can call this as categories. And for categories, for products we use catalog and product, and for categories you can use catalog and categories. Sitemap for e-commerce website. Where do we have catalog? We have a product. Do we have catalog? Yeah, we have catalog. Okay, so this is a quick start on Interaction Studio's capabilities.